Good morning, guys. Mm, I wanted to show you some two setups that I've been looking for in a while. This is GBP USD and EUR USD. If you've been following either my Telegram channel or WhatsApp channel, you will have noticed that I've been looking at this pair. So, initially, uh, late October, we did see formation of a W pattern, which is a reversal pattern. This is a reversal pattern, a bullish reversal pattern, indicating that price is going to print uh, that bearish momentum is decreasing and that bulls are entering the market. In this case, we always look at divergence of price and momentum, whereby we use things like RSI. So in a W pattern, you always notice these are low, these are high, then we form a lower low. But in divergence, we always do see let's look for time frame. You can see we formed a low, and in our RSI we formed a low. Then price pushed up. Then when it pushed down to break this low, it printed a lower low, but in our momentum indicator, the RSI, it shows that it prints a higher low, meaning that there's a change in shift, there's a change in momentum. So this these are a scenario where we trade the reversal pattern, the W pattern. We can see that price came, breached the neckline, breached to the upper side, then plummeted back inside. So in such scenarios, we expect that it's either the price just peers up to hunt the stop losses of people who had put stop losses here, the sellers who had put stop losses here, and also initiate buy stops that were put here, and then come back into hunt the stop losses that were put below the neckline. So we saw price retracing back, came, formed a low, a high, a high, a low, high. We can see some choppiness here. Then we can see price. If you go to smaller time frames, like each one, you can see all the way here there some three equal lows, whereby meaning that all bullish positions, all people taking bullish positions, most of them have put their stop loss around here. So firstly, I was expecting that price would come, pierce below here, then form a reversal pattern so that I can scale into long positions and target this new high. Uh, we saw this happen early. Is it early this week? Thursday, late last week. We saw price pierce below the liquidity area of the previous the equal loss, piercing here, collecting some liquidity, push up, break this high, then come to retest before pushing up. So for the people who took advantage of a long position around here and took their take profit with the significant higher highs, with the recent highs, they took some good RR. But anyway, my interest was the OB, the bullish OB. So I wanted the price to come, hunt the stop losses below this, the equal loss, then pierce into the bullish OB around here. So that is the place I was looking to enter. So that first position left me. You can also see there's another liquidity trend line that was formed around here. Here there's a low forming a trend line, then a low where price bounces back. So you can expect there's also some liquidity below this trend line. We can see now that price has pushed below. It has pushed below this trend line, sweeping that liquidity. It has pushed below these lows, and it has pierced the bullish OB that I was paying interest in. So this will be a pair that I'll be looking to either scale in today. So I'll be looking maybe into smaller time frames and identify some bullish change to execute a long position with my first target at around this place and my last target at around this place. Then obviously my stop loss will be below this wick here, below the previous low. Yeah, so that is one pair that I'm looking at. The other pair is Euro USD. Euro USD. Here's Euro USD. I did share this price yesterday. I did share this setup yesterday. We can see same scenario. Euro USD formed a low, formed a high, formed a lower low. But if you looked at the momentum, which I had updated in my Telegram channel, the momentum indicator, the RSI, printed a higher low, sorry. So the price forms a lower low. The momentum indicator, in this case RSI, formed a higher low, meaning that there's a change, there's an upcoming change in trend. Then we can see that price came, breached the neckline here, completing the. So for those who know how I trade my W patterns, I always do execute my first positions after the breach of this minor small high. I always want to see prices come and retest around this OB, which in this case was never executed. So I missed out on that trade. So we can see that the price came, breached the neckline, and same story for people executed short positions around here. The stop losses were around here, the liquidity was helped. Then all buy stops that were around here, they were triggered and price pushed below. So my first idea was here. I had noted let me show you. I noted equal lows around here. So when price hunted the buy stops and then came plummeting back in, I wanted to see price come push below the equal lows. You can see here there's a low, so these are two equal lows, meaning there's a lot of liquidity there. I wanted price to push below there, trigger into this OB, into this let me show you, into this OB here. So I expected that price would come, hunt the stop loss, the liquidity below these two equal lows, enter the OB, then push up so that I could target my first target at around here. But then you can see price came, never did that. So that strategy was that idea was invalidated. Then price pushed up, breaching the new high to form a new high, meaning that there's now changing direction from lower formation of lower lows and lower highs to formation of these are lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low to here's to a higher high, higher low, higher high. We don't know where the next higher low will be, but we can see the idea that the direction of price has changed from bearish to bullish. So we will be looking for positions to execute in the buy side. So if you saw the update I gave yesterday, I did show that price was around here. So I was speculating that it would come, pierce below to collect the liquidity around here, because you can see there's a lot of liquidity. As long as you see price bouncing at around some place, it means that people tend to put stop losses below those bounces. So there's a lot of liquidity around there. So I was expecting price to push down below and come and bounce to this trend line. So you can also see, for those who trade with zones, can see you can draw a trend line between. You can draw one that connects the bodies, the other one that connects the wicks. So all this is a zone of interest. But anyway, for clarity, let me clear this. Now, in this case, price has pierced the trend line of this channel. You can see it's also a bullish channel. Price has pierced that trend line. Price has also come and pierced an interesting bullish order block. Okay, now, so those are two confluences. And remember, price has pushed below here where there was some significant liquidity. So around this place is a good place to enter a long position. Okay. Let's look for another confluence. I always do like for OBs, for me to trade OBs. Yeah, this was our recent lower high. High low, sorry. Let's connect that wave. So you can see my Fibonacci's. So it only has 70.5 and 79% regions. That's why I always look for an OB that confluences with either 70.5 or 79. Those are the OBs that I'm always interested in. So you can see in this case, how many confluences do we have of this one? First, there's a shifting in trend from lower lows and lower highs to higher lows and higher highs. You can see that. Then you can see price form a channel. It bounces when it like this. If you've seen the PDFs that I've been sharing, I gave an example of a tennis ball that you've hit hard between a floor and a ceiling. So it hits the floor, it bounces to the ceiling, it comes back. It hits the floor, it bounces to the ceiling. Now this trend line acts as a floor or a resistance or a support, and this floor acts as this other trend line acts as a ceiling, which is a resistance. So first off, we have a bias of bullish trading setup. Okay, then you can see price has bounced, and this actually for any person who's trading a trend line, this is the best. The third bounce is the third bounce is actually the only best bounce you can trade, because that's the only time you identify a trend line, because you always identify a trend line after two bounces. Okay, after connecting two areas of bounces, that's the only time you can identify a bounce trend. So price might bounce here. So price is at a support trend line. Price has pierced an OB, a bullish OB. Price has swept liquidity here. Okay, and the OB confluences with the 79% Fibonacci level. So this will be a very good setup for me to trade. So in case I execute, for aggressive traders, who puts sell limits on the OB, this will be the setup. Obviously the stop loss will be below the nearest swing low. Then our target will be around here. Okay, so this will be around 1:5ish. So for every $100 you stake in this trade, for the aggressive traders, you'll get a reward of $500. Now for the conservative traders, you'll be looking for changing trend in low time frames like 15 minutes time frame, 30 minutes time frame. You can see actually price has started reacting around that place. You can see some bullish candle. This called I used to trade this long time ago, inside candle pattern, whereby you'll put a buy stop above the mother candle, stop loss below the mother candle, then trade. Obviously the first target for that strategy was 1:1. So if the mother candle, I would always draw, it's like an engulfing candle but in the opposite side. So here is the mother candle, the red one, the following one, the green one, which shows bullish bullish momentum is like it like the following candle is covered. It's inside the previous candle, all of it. Okay, so in this case you always did put a buy stop here, a stop loss below the mother candle. Then obviously the first trade will be 1:1, then second trade will be 1:2. But anyway, you will be looking for, and you can also see even in these low time frames, you can see there's been formation of some equal lows here. Okay, in the Asian session that has just been completed a few minutes ago, a few hours, like an hour ago, you can see equal lows, then liquidity hunt. Okay, so let's see how prices will play out. You can also look for maybe a change in what is recent high. You can also look for something like price push up, execute, break the high, then come retrace to some either bullish or be around this place again, which will give you a better risk to reward or a more scalp entry. I mean a more sniper entry. Okay, because you'll find that if you find a change in character, then a retracement to retest the OB in the low time frames, you can even find that you're using stop loss of 10 pips, 5 pips, with the same targets of take profits. Okay, so these are the two pairs that I'll be looking at for today. Yeah, so let's see how price turns out today. If it plays out well, it will be a good swing, whereby one can bag almost from 105.48 to 106. Yeah, more than 150 pips. So it will be around 130 pips. It will be a good trade setup. So let's see how it turns out. Cheers.